Ted.
Yes, sir.
Arrows. I don't think anyone disagrees that they want children to do well. I think that there is perhaps this uneasiness with paying kids from certain backgrounds money to do well on tests, you know, when in fact kids forever have been motivated in various different ways to do well on tests. How do you answer that question from critics, including Pedro Noguera from NYU, who says that the money should be put into teaching and tutoring rather than giving it to kids?
There are billions and billions of dollars put in throughout the United States into teaching and tutoring and supports. That's been true for as long as anyone can remember, and the racial and ethnic achievement gaps that Whitney talked about persist. It seems to me one of the real problems of public education, and that's why I gave a shout out to Dan Tisch. That's why I would, if David Banks were here with Eagle Academy, I would be talking to him. One of the real problems is people are afraid to try different things. And what we're not afraid of in New York City, particularly when we get the kind of support from the private sector, so this is not public dollars. He wasn't going to give me $2 million to spend it on anything I wanted. This is a program that they'd seen work elsewhere. They wanted replicated. They thought it would be impactful in terms of minority kids. They want to work on it. And I am certainly willing to partner with them and do that. Now, when it comes to motivation, I'll just affiliate myself with Katie Haycock, who's been toiling in the venues for educational equity for as long as anyone knows. And we all know that lots of kids in lots of communities get lots of rewards. How many movies do we have to see about the kid who graduates college and gets that brand new car, right? So financial and other incentives are traditional. When I was a kid growing up in New York City and I did well on my report card, first of all, at least I was able to go out in the evenings, which was a big deal for me. No, I'm serious. And second of all, my allowance was affected by that. And a lot of these kids, the money they've made enables them to spend more time studying and less time having to work. And that's a trade-off that I think is terrific and would like to keep encouraging. But the basic point, and I'm going to underscore this time and again, there is such a resistance to innovate and try new and different things in public education. Now that would be great if we had a 98 or 99 or 100% graduation rate and every kid, regardless of color, regardless of poverty, were on her way or his way to college, to succeed, and so forth. But when you have the kind of results in America that you have, thank goodness for the Whitney Tilsons and the Pershing Squares and the Cups who are willing to get together and say, you know, let's try something different. We can't be guaranteed a success. If we had a guaranteed plan, we would have done it years ago. But that's what makes education so stultifying, is the unwillingness to innovate. And these people are doing it, and I thank them. Yes?
My recollection from an advanced placement test from many years ago is that you get college credits, so if you pass, so theoretically you can pay for fewer college credits. Isn't that already a financial incentive?
Of course it's a financial incentive, and so many other things in life. But I mean, the most important thing, think about what these folks are trying to do. They're trying to say to kids, look, we know that you've got a lot of competing claims in your life. Many of these children have to work. We're willing to say to you, here's a different way to think about it. Put your shoulder to the wheel when it comes to academics. You succeed, and there will be financial rewards. You want to reward success, you want to encourage performance, and as you say, cuts down the number of college credits that they have to worry about. A lot of these kids will be on scholarship. A lot of these kids are not worried about the cost. What they are worried about, and I've talked to a lot of them, is how hard they have to work, how much money they have to bring into their families. And there's a couple of them shaking their head right back behind you right now. And that's what it's about. But most importantly, and I'm going to keep banging on this theme because I think it's so important. I've been at this job 6 years, and what amazes me is how unwilling we are to try different approaches in a system in which we all acknowledge far too many kids are not getting the outcomes we want. In any other sector of America, if you weren't getting the results you want, you would try things new and different. If you didn't, you would be out of business. And in education, we need to be prepared to try things that are new and different, and to learn from them, to build on them, and improve on them. And I will assure you, not every single one of them will work exactly the way you want it. But if you don't try new and different things, I will also assure you that you'll continue to get the same results we have, you'll continue to get the same racial and ethnic achievement gaps we have. That's what school reform in New York City has been about the last 6 years. Time and again, things like empowerment, accountability, our progress reports, all of those issues. The naysayers and the negativos were there. This isn't it, this isn't it, this isn't it. It's very hard to change the world for kids. But I promise you, if you don't try different things, you won't succeed.
Does the program pay for the exam itself? From what I remember, it's an expensive exam, and some of these kids are taking 4 and 5 of them. Is that covered under the program? The cost to actually take the exam?
For the most part, there's New York State issues waivers based on income, so the vast majority of students didn't pay to take the exam.
So finally, I just want one last, because everybody's expressed an opinion on this. I'd like to hear from the students what your opinion is, and here's the way we're going to measure this. The loudest possible noise indicates you think this is a terrific program. So let me hear your vote on this thing. You can put your hands up and make some noise if you think it's a great program.